Hello everyone, this is In-Game Mart with another box and a breakdown of the demo. This is Unravel Yarny bundle for the PlayStation 4. This comes with Unravel as well as Unravel 2 all on one disc. Now there were no updates available since the making of this video for either one of the games. But Unravel 2 has already updates available on disc, which is 1.01, which is very nice because that means both the first and second ones is fully up to date. Now you can choose which one to install into your console, which is very nice as well in case you like a particular one or you're working with limited space on your hard drive. Now basically to summarize the game, it is a platformer puzzle game. Now the first and second one are different kind of genres almost, depending on how you want to look at it. The first one is more of a, a feely kind of atmospheric journey experience, while the second one's more about the gameplay and mechanic direction with the game. Now we'll talk a little bit about the first one here. As you can see, this is the first one we're playing right now, and it's more, like I said, a journey experience. The music as well as the atmosphere, it's all supposed to be a very calming and relaxing experience, much like its experience of Journey or maybe Flower. Now the puzzles can get a little challenging in certain moments, but generally if you can think sometimes a little bit out the box and think about how the yarn mechanics work, you can get through it pretty quickly. The game is not meant to be stressful and challenging, and you can really tell that from the music and the atmosphere. Now, there's certain things I do think the game is quite impressive with, is the yarn effect as well as the puzzles. I like how the yarn constantly spreads across the map, as well as you can use it to whip around, as well as use it as a form of climbing. It's like your tail. And it's really well done, and the mechanics and the physics mechanics and the whipping and stuff like that is very satisfying. Now, as I said, the first one is more of a journey because it's a lot more slower and it's a lot more build up in time, and it's more about the atmosphere and then more of a challenge or giving you really complicated puzzles. Now, like I said, some do get a little challenging at certain moments, but stick to it and you can figure it out. It's just an overall unpleasant experience, and I just couldn't put it down when I started playing it. It was just a joyful experience through and through. I can almost say it's definitely a hidden gem in terms of, just what it is as a puzzle game. I think I really adore it. I could not get over it, and now I've been listening to the music on my off time here and there when I'm working on my projects. Now we're going to go ahead and jump to the second one. Now the second one is more of about, as I said, its gameplay and mechanic features. It's more about the two-player co-op feature. Now the game has co-op, but it's only for offline experience. You can't play online. Now, you can play two players offline experience, and it's more focused around those mechanics than really about the journey, as the first one was, where you have to remember to use yourself as a partner, as a team, to solve the puzzles. Now, as I said, you can play this, though, one player. You can control both of them and switch between them both. Now, I do hold a little bit that the right joystick control both another yarn and the left joystick control the other yarn. I'm not saying it's required, you could switch between the characters still, but sometimes it would have been nice without having to constantly switch. You could just control the other character with the other joystick. It just seems like a wasted opportunity since you have a joystick right there. But the overall experience is a lot more faster, fluid, if you can probably see that. It's like I said, it's a little bit more about the mechanics and then the atmosphere as the first one was. It's not to say that it doesn't have some deep meaning behind it and some great music, but there were just certain little things that just weren't appealing as much to me as it was in the first one in terms of mechanics and game, not really mechanics, but in terms of the atmosphere build. There's these ghosty, demon black ghost mist things you'll come across in the second one that are not present in the first one that really kind of broke the atmosphere for me. I wasn't a big fan of that direction, but I understand they had to put some kind of form of obstacles in your way, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't feel as good or well designed as it was in the first one in that field. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just something I didn't approve of. But the overall experience was good. I couldn't put it down. It still has a lot of more mechanics than the first one did, be able to wall jump, as well as you're able to, things are a little bit more streamlined and made easier, like the tying a knot and be able to unbundle it is very well done. As I said, the speed's a lot more faster. Wall sliding is a really nice bonus as well. And as well as that, now there's challenge maps as well, where you can try to get through, try to complete these puzzles that are really hard, or you can do time trials as well with some of the levels that were not present and you couldn't do in the first one. As I said, the second one is more about a game and mechanics, while the first one's about the journey and experience. So basically, look at the first one as something like Flower and Journey and something along those fields, while the second one could be looked at more something like Portal 2 with the co-op feature. And that's something you could probably look into it as well as that. Is that if you're someone who loved Portal 2 and you played with your girlfriend or boyfriend or family or friends or something like that, and you were looking for another puzzle game you can play 2 players again and have that same experience somewhat and have that like co-op or aggravation if you have that too, then you might want to look into Unravel 2. It might cater to that itch a little bit for you. Now, just to summarize it real quickly, I highly recommend it. I could not put the game down. It became one of my beloved gems on my shelf now. And just because it's a collection like this, it's well worth to put in your collection. It's just well worth it. I have to highly recommend it. It's a fun game, 1 and 2. But if you want an opinion, I recommend starting with the first one, then jumping into the second one. They're not required to be played in order. You don't have to, but I think that if you played the second one first, the mechanics and the speed of it, you might feel a little disappointed when you go to the first one, how it's slower. So I still recommend probably start with the first one, then go to the second one. So thank you all for watching. I'll try to leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy, which I highly recommend. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye bye.